Welcome back to Rare Elvis Photos. We are going to go ahead and highlight some of your comments again today. I think this is going to be a daily occurrence. I definitely appreciate everybody that comes on here to comment, to let me know your thoughts, to defend Elvis. Deborah Jones says P is evil. This was on the Priscilla Presley, the Devil in Disguise video, part 2. I think that most people agree with you on here that they don't like Priscilla very much. Now, on the Lisa Marie Presley interview, she cried out about Priscilla dragging her into Scientology. This is a new video posted. Teresa, hey, good to see you. Lisa did not deserve this. She had a better life. God bless Elvis. Lisa, every day, forever. If Elvis was here, none of this would have happened. None of this would have happened to Elvis. Lisa, love and miss you so much forever. It's very sad. It's sad to see how Priscilla dragged her into it. The thing is, in religion and in spirituality, it's supposed to be a relationship that you develop with your higher power. Lisa should have gotten a better mother. She ruined Lisa, basically putting her in a cult. I agree with that. Defending Elvis Presley, what's going on? Great channel. I appreciate that. I went over and visited your channel. I think you were doing a live. It was hot there in the UK, and you had your shirt off. Elvis always seemed like he always had cut-off shirts or had his shirt off too, because it was really hot in Memphis. So you're in the UK. Yeah, can you please mention our channel? Yes. Check out Defending Elvis Presley. He spends a lot of time really defending the legacy of Elvis. It looks like he posted a link there. And normally, other channels don't like you putting links to other videos in the comments. But I appreciate the hustle on that. I know you're trying to build your channel and build your followers. Go check him out. I think his name is Louis, if I remember correctly. But I've always enjoyed seeing him pop up in the feed. So Lynette says Lisa was such a beautiful girl. She's so much like her daddy. Very much. Lisa didn't have the vocal skills of Elvis, but it would be unfair to expect that. So Kimberly Stankiewicz, 7961, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I remember my mom telling me that Lisa didn't want to have Lisa Marie and wanted to have an abortion. But Priscilla's mother convinced her to keep the baby so she could get more money out of Elvis. I don't know where my mom heard or read this, but this was back in the 70s. What a great point you make, Kimberly. This is not just something that people are making up. People knew Priscilla, people knew the family, and people will talk. They'll talk about what they've heard. So do I doubt that it was possibly a statement that was a true statement? I don't doubt that. Appreciate you coming on here. All right, so 3 separate hits at poor Lisa Marie. I don't understand why she didn't distance herself from her mother when she was 25 plus. She should have taken over her birthright and politely put Prissy out the graze. No. I couldn't pretend to like anyone, especially my mother, if she had used me. And my father used me and my father, like Prissy used and uses Elvis, even for publicity shots. Hard to do, but Lisa Marie should have been the face of Elvis Presley Enterprises from the 25th birthday. May she rest in peace. Now, it's sad, Lisa was not shunted. She was what do they call it when your maturity is. Well, I guess her maturity was shunted, by Scientology, by all that went on. So at 25, she wasn't capable of doing it. She hadn't matured to the right age level, and she'd been basically just a mess emotionally. So, but yeah, you're right. She should have been if she was raised right by Priscilla. At Mary White says Priscilla is a snake in the grass. Everything that comes out of her mouth's a lie. She's a greedy old lady. She's. There's a fine line between being greedy and staying busy all the time. Like I said, and that's not meant to defend Priscilla, because it certainly seems like she wants money after money after money after money. And so I think I might have even called her a similar statement at one point in time. No Blue said Lisa is loved and missed as much as her daddy is. That's very sweet. Thanks for coming on here. And Tammy Rizza says Prissy was never a good mother to Lisa Marie. She didn't even want her when she found out she was pregnant. Elvis had to talk her into keeping her. Lisa was more with her nanny than with her mother. And that's true. And now, Priscilla, to her defense, I guess, she admitted in her book, Elvis and Me, that she was not a good mother, that she did drop her off and leave her, and she traveled around the world with Michael Edwards and stuff like that. And we can see from, like, we have common sense on this channel. We can see that she wasn't a good mother. We can see that she cared more about her own fame than a child. And I think she resented Lisa for the love that Elvis had for her. I think she resented it big time. Sapphire Blue, what's going on? 3563. I know I'm going to make a lot of enemies by saying this, but I'm not a fan of Lisa because, like her mother, she would never sue for libel or slander for Elvis. I know she was only 9 when he died, but these books were evidence against themselves. When a guy came out and said he was writing a book called John Wayne, a Homosexual, the family just threatened to sue, and the book never came out. If either Lisa or Presley had really loved Elvis, they would have hired somebody to go over these slanderous books with a fine-tooth comb and find things to sue about. Both Lisa and the mother gave Elvis lip service, but actually did they do anything? No. Every time I say this to someone that you can't sue for libel or slander for the dead, that's what they say. But I consulted a few lawyers about this, and they say it goes by state, and you can sue from any state where the book was sold, so I'm not a big fan of Lisa's. I agree on some points that us Elvis fans would like to see, some slander and libel lawsuits that would have happened in the past. But one of the things that does is it publicizes. It's free publicity for the books. So there may have been something, where Lisa thought about that, or Elvis Presley Enterprises thought, gosh, if we put this in the news, more books are going to be sold. More money is going to be made. More lives are going to be read. So maybe that angle might be taken, but good comment. Now, marry all the celebrities like Tom Cruise, John Travolta, and others. They are Scientology, and they have a common bond that they are stupid. Although Lisa Marie was indoctrinated as a child, unlike her abuser, I think is what you're going to put there, mother, that she didn't stay in Scientology. Well, that's a good point there. The Pablo 3030. I don't know. I know I'm probably doing a ratchet job on your name. Sorry about that. Let's hope her memoir isn't tampered with and shed some light on her snake leeching living parent. Sacrilege that father and daughter are gone so soon. Yeah, it's a shame. They say only the good die young, right? Of course, I hope that doesn't mean that if we live to be a long age we're not good, but it seems like there's a lot of people that we lose too young, including my mother, including my son and my brothers and family members, that it's very sad that sometimes people that we don't really want to keep going on living, not that we want to wish a demise upon Priscilla, but here she is and Elvis isn't, and it seems like it's kind of unfair. She's making all the money off of Elvis, trying to keep his name out there in some ways so she can profit on it, in my opinion. And of course, good comment. Kristen Laxton, 7970. She was great at interviews, just like her dad Elvis was. Now, this is all comments on the Lisa Marie video that's recently uploaded, so go check it out if you haven't seen it. I was reading some from the interview. Yes, I saw this interview, and she even said that her mother treated her like crap. Lisa Marie Presley was a beautiful girl and a woman. She was, Kristen. And I don't want to say she never stood a chance, but sometimes we're a product of our raising. And she was abused growing up. She was mentally and psychologically abused by Scientology, and really by her mother, by being abandoned and being left and dropped off to Scientology and not taken care of in a loving, nurturing way. Now all of us parents that have, we have children, all those people have children, we're not always a perfect parent. I love my children, but we are all prone to maybe not being the greatest parent at any given time. But, it shouldn't stretch out to days and weeks and months and years. If you make a mistake as a parent, maybe you discipline too hard, or maybe you don't discipline enough, or, maybe you don't support enough, or maybe you don't have the patience at times. You always have the opportunity to change, to change the way you're parenting, to improve upon that, to learn from that. And you should. If you're a parent that loves your child, you should have that guilt inside of you, that sometimes you feel like maybe I didn't do enough, say enough yesterday. Maybe I haven't said I love you enough lately. Maybe I need to give my children some more hugs or kiss, and maybe do something that's something they want to do, even if you don't want to do it. And I don't think Lisa got any of that from her mom. Marta Arroyo Herrera. I know I'm probably not saying that right. I'm trying to roll my R's for you. Of course, with Elvis and Lisa Marie, heart always. Great comment. Great to see you on here. You're always on the channel. Hopefully the audio is coming out fine. I'm having to pause this left and right. I'm driving, of course, and talking. Gosh, I'm yawning a lot. It's hot here in Tennessee. It's 94, feels like about 102. And of course, I'm from the desert of California, where it's was always 110, 115, but it was a dry heat. So sometimes the humid heat here in Tennessee can sap you. And of course, I know very well. I mean, well, let me say Elvis knew very well, because he was from Tennessee, and that's why he's always wearing kind of like tied up shirts and no shirts, and you know, that's the only way you can somewhat escape from the heat, that and water. So and then we got Rainbow's got a comment here, and this is actually a video I'm working on right now, so I appreciate your forethought on this. That she will not be buried at Graceland. I always thought it. But with all of this current legal and fraud issues, it will never happen. That's my thoughts exactly, especially if the court cases don't go the right way. I mean, Elvis Presley Enterprises doesn't want a negative, they wouldn't want a negative story. Joel Weinchecker doesn't want that. And I know Joel doesn't want her buried at Graceland. And I don't really know what Riley thinks. And once again, it's a fine line between us thinking what Riley should think and versus what we think. I mean, this is her grandmother, and I'm sure, a lot of times grandparents can be much better to their grandchildren than they were to their children. And that might be the case. Maybe she supported her a lot. Maybe she went to see her plays and all this other stuff. I don't really know, but I don't know whether or not Riley wants her buried there or not. I don't know if Riley wants to be buried there or not. I mean, she hasn't really talked about that. But I know Elvis fans don't want Priscilla buried there. The majority of them. There are some that do, that love Priscilla. Joe Weinchecker puts Priscilla in her place. Hey, I fixed it. Remember when I was reading the comments yesterday, I was so irritated by, I want to say it was autocorrect, because normally I don't make egregious errors like that. But Kristen also says, Graceland needs to take action against Priscilla, and she never loved Elvis and Lisa Marie and used them for money, because that's all she cares about. It's money, 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 money. She is a greedy person. That's certainly what a lot of people have said, for sure. I'm currently driving by the area out here in Tennessee that got hit by a tornado about maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it still shocks me at the destruction and devastation that a tornado can do. Anywho, I know those of you that are in Texas and Oklahoma and Iowa and Kansas and areas like that, and even Colorado, have experienced a lot of tornadoes in the past 12, 15, 20 years since I've been I've been in Tennessee for how long now? 20. I'll be showing my age, but I've been out here a while. Got here when I was 21 to be a singer-songwriter and from California. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching the video. Keep commenting. I'll focus and feature as many of your comments as I can. Share the video around. Watch the other videos on the channel. Like them. Subscribe. I have 3 fabulous members. Now, I have got 60,000 subscribers, but what a membership is that it's a financial contribution every month that kind of helps me make these videos. And if any of y'all hear this message and you feel like you can do that, once again, I'm not begging or asking you to do it, but it does help. It will help, and it will help me make more videos and continue the good fight. So that's my message for today. I try to leave it on every video because I was told that I didn't talk about it enough in the past, and that's why I only have 3 members and with 60,000 subscribers. Let's finish with one final comment here from Rainbow as well. Yes, now this is the Elvis fan speaking out against Elvis Presley, so she's probably reading a comment on there, and she said, yes, I believe that when someone in Elvis's circle or associated circle snitched to Scylla that Elvis had revised his last will and testament in March of '77 and got wind that Elvis was crazy about Ginger, and had indeed become engaged to Ginger. The following month, April, after Elvis came home from the hospital, she went to the one thing that meant the most to Elvis. If Elvis was late on the alimony check, she could have gone after something else, though the bank only for the alimony amount, which was nothing compared to the huge real estate value of Graceland. And here's the other part of that. Priscilla knew how sick Elvis was. Priscilla knew how bad he was looking, and the health part of it. And did she really care? Did she really step in? Did she really do everything she could? Wellness checks, all this sort of stuff that she had in her power if she truly cared. Interventions. No, I think that she was worried that her money was going to get cut off. And that's my personal opinion, but it's also looking at a view from 30,000 feet. That's what I feel. I felt like she could have done more, should have done more, did not do more because she didn't care. That's how I feel. I feel like she did not care. But anyhow, so she also wanted to make sure that there was a claim to the mansion before he married again, Ginger. So she secured Graceland, forcing Elvis not to be able to rest physically or mentally, had to keep touring and be able to rest or set a wedding date on Plan 1. So what you're talking about there, in case other listeners don't know, is that there was an attachment to Graceland if Elvis went into default on these alimony payments. So yeah, you don't do that when you have love. You don't do that when you continue to have this love and this story that you tell that supposedly you were always going to get back together, and that you had love for each other, and your relationship was even better than when you were married and before you were married, and that false tale that it seems like she tells. Ann Blasson says, Priscilla thinks that Elvis fans are definitely stupid while she feels very smart and thinks she can tell us what suits him and we believe everything. So obviously we don't. So thank you for that comment, Anna. All right, that's this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next video where I go over your comments, take care of yourselves. Love this life. Enjoy this life. Take the time to smell the roses. There's plenty of things to get stressed about. Try not to stress about them too heavy, because unless you can do something about them, then you shouldn't stress about it. If you can't do something about it, well, then you probably shouldn't stress about it either, right? Because you can't do anything about it. It's good advice to take. I try to take the advice as much as I can myself. Life is a stressful life at times, but you've got to enjoy it. Enjoy time with your friends and your families. And I think certainly Elvis did that for the majority of his life. He really, really, really had fun with his friends and his family. He made sure they had fun too, because I think he understood that's one of the great secrets to life. All right, this is Rare Elvis Photos. Till next time, TCB TLC.